I had taken a job as a finance commodities trader in Chicago when I did that race, but I did the most obvious thing that any 24-year-old kid with a bright future in finance would do is after I won the triathlon, I walked in and I quit my job to become a professional triathlete, which, by the way, is not like the NBA or the MLB. It's like eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and sleeping on your friends' couches. But I raced all over the world, and my goal was to make the Olympics. I said, you know what, I'm going to make the Olympics. I've been a swimmer, a triathlete. And perhaps you think the arc of this story is like, wow, the next photo is going to be Colin with a gold medal around his neck. That is not what happened. I had some success, raced all over the world for 6 years, but ultimately I crashed, I got scraped up, I got banged up. It was a difficult journey, and I failed. I failed in my stated goal to make the Olympics. And finally, after 6 years, I had to realize that, and I said, what should I do next with my life? It was a turning point in my life. At that moment, it's 2014, 10 years ago, I found myself with a diamond ring in my pocket on the top of Ecuador's third tallest mountain, asking my then longtime girlfriend, Jenna, to marry me. And in this moment, similar to like that hospital moment, my mom daring me to dream with reckless abandon said, what do we want to do with our lives? What do we care about? What are we passionate about? The little boy inside of me had always dreamed about climbing Mount Everest. And I recently heard about this thing called the Explorer's Grand Slams. That's to climb the tallest mountain on each of the 7 continents and complete expeditions to both the North and South Poles. We thought maybe we could do this as like a world record or be the fastest to ever complete it. Jen and I are both very passionate about health. So we said, let's start a nonprofit that impacts young people. Today's kids are the least active in history. Everyone in this room knows that. So we set this goal, world record project, big impact with our nonprofit, and we get back to our 1-bedroom apartment in Portland, Oregon, and we quickly realize that we have nothing. We have no money, no background, no idea how to start a nonprofit, a few papers scrawled on a whiteboard. And this is the moment where most innovation dies, right? It's like you're drinking beer with your buddy on a Saturday night. You're like, you know what? Next year, man, we're going to train. We're going to run the New York City Marathon. It's going to be awesome. Then you wake up like hungover on Sunday morning, you text your buddy, you're like, bro, like we're not, come on, let's be honest, we're not doing that. Right? But instead, the reframe is ask ourselves, what do we have? We had $10,000 to our entire name at this point. And Jenna's like, well, you're going to need to raise $500,000 for this project. You better have a cool website. So we put all $10K on a website. We build this great website, and then we go out. This is going to be easy. Let's go talk to sponsors. So we start pitching sponsors. And what do we hear? No. You've never even climbed mountains. No. Why do you think you could do that? Absolutely not. You have 300 Twitter followers. Nobody cares. No. Every door slamming in our face. It was a couple months before it was time to leave, and we were several $100,000 short. A buddy of mine invites me to a LA Fitness for a spin class. My ego's like, bro, I'm a professional athlete. Like, I'm not going to show up to a LA. He said, come on, man. It'll be great. It'll be fun. Like, just come. So I end up going to this LA Fitness. And I go in there and I sit down next to this woman. She's spinning her bike super fast. She's already sweaty. The class hasn't even started. We start chit-chatting. And I bring up the fact that I'm doing this record. She's like, oh, that's super cool. She's like, I actually set a world record back in the day in college. I had the world record for the 5K. And I was like, wow, that's incredible. Anyways, the spin class goes on. Spin class is ending. I wipe up my bike. I'm ready to leave. And she goes, I've been thinking about your project. That's super cool. I only heard 30 seconds, but my husband loves stuff like this too. And she waves this guy over. A guy comes over to me. Tell him the quick spiel. Oh, I'm trying to set this world record, about kids, this impact, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, wow, that's amazing. Are you looking for sponsors by any chance? I was like, funny you should mention that. Indeed I am. And he goes, yeah, because the company I work at, I think we really like stuff like this. Like, great, where do you work? He's like, Nike. I'm like, amazing. I think anywhere in the world that's like the dream sponsorship. But I'm in Portland, Oregon. I grew up there in the shadow of Nike World Headquarters. And he goes, do you have like a website or anything that you could email me on Monday? We could take a look at it. I said, in fact, I do. He goes, great, let me get you a card. Shuffles through his gym bag, pulls out his card, hands it to me. I look down. Mark Parker, CEO, Nike. In case anyone's wondering, Mark Parker actually works at a local LA Fitness because he gets too much bombarded by the people at work at the Nike World Headquarters. I had no idea I was talking to him. But what's the lesson here? Is the lesson, oh, what? You're just going to get lucky. It's just great, whatever? I don't think so. Number 4 of the Go Beyond method. Winners lose the most. Winners lose the most. I set off on this triathlon journey. I failed to make the Olympics. But because I was strong enough, I could dream of climbing these mountains and make some sort of credible thing. Jen and I put all of our money in, and then no. But what happened every time someone said no? Unintentionally, I'm refining my pitch. So when I have 30 seconds with the person that can change my life, I don't even know I'm pitching. But because all of the losses along the way add up to this one win. And how does that apply to all of us here? Taking risks, of course, calculated risks, stepping outside of that comfort zone. That is where the most profound growth truly happens, and winners lose the most.